Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and true seekers out there. Welcome to the Straight Shooter Show. This is the show where we give our honest opinion, hence the title. So we give analysis and recommendations regarding different forms of entertainment. My name is Todd Braley.
And I'm Itai Guberman.
And both of us are indie filmmakers and lovers of different forms of art and entertainment. So we are going to talk today about zombie movies, hence the Dawn of the Dead shirt. And actually, one zombie movie in particular, Train to Busan from 2016, a Korean film. If you haven't seen it, I don't know about you, but I don't know of any people that don't like horror movies that didn't like this one.
I know plenty. I know
Do you know
plenty who
anybody
don't
that
like
didn't
horror
like
movies.
this? Oh, well, yeah.
Who don't like horror movies.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about Train to Busan today. And Itai's got some stats from that, so I'll let him kind of read off.
Not so much stats. We just looked at the budget before, it was 8.5 million US was the budget of the film, which we thought was pretty impressive considering, how the film looks and etc. Compared it to sort of, we looked at a few other films of the genre, and it stacks up so well against most of them, and it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It looks better than most and feels better than most, but it was done for less. I think it grossed over 92 million worldwide, so not a bad little profit this one made.
Yep. It came out in July on July 22nd of 2016. Running time is about 118 minutes, so almost 2 hours.
It's actually longer than most, but you don't feel it. It's just you're just entertained all the way through. I'm just having a look now on IMDb. It's like the rating it got is 7.6 out of 10. I would say it's more like closer to 9, but it's for IMDb 7.6 is pretty damn good. So
what was it about this movie that you felt was just made it different? I know you're probably going to automatically go to the writing, but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would go to the writing because as far as zombie films go, or not horror films, but zombie films in particular, it's not that much different from a lot of others. So what worked here was, I think, in a lot of ways, the way it was shot, and even the acting, even though I think it's a little bit sort of over, as a lot of Asian films tend to be. I think it's their style of acting. It's a little bit different than films made, in the West, let's say. So you kind of forgive that. Also, it's in a different language, so you read subtitles. So a lot of the intonation, is kind of lost on us. So if the acting is bad, we notice it less, which works in the film's favor.
Which I think with a lot of foreign films. I don't know about you because I don't speak any other languages, but when I watch other foreign films, I kind of am happy that I can't actually understand the language. So I don't know if the acting is bad or not.
Correct. Yeah.
So you sit there and you're talking about over the top. I think a lot of it with a lot of, especially like Korean films and Japanese films, there's a lot of facial movement, I guess, where maybe that's, I don't know, is that where you can kind of tell where the overacting comes in? Or
it's facial movement. It's also sound. They tend to elongate certain sounds, and especially if it's a surprise, it's like, it's like a lot. And
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
and watching that, it looks to us it's overacting, but it's within that sort of, let's call it subgenre or culture. And for them, it's just the way, you know, they act. There's a bit of sort of overacting, and we try to kind of put it aside. Sometimes it's done for comedic purposes. Sometimes it's in a drama or even a thriller, horror, or whatever. And yeah, it didn't bother me so much in this one. It wasn't. It didn't happen a lot, I don't think. But geez, the zombies look good.
Yeah, the makeup in this movie was off the chain, man. I mean, there was nothing that you looked at and went, ooh, you know, and as much as I love Dawn of the Dead, you know, you didn't get Dawn of the Dead zombies in any way, shape, or form. I mean,
yeah, but it's also however many years before, well, decades before. So, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, people will still almost always with any zombie movie, they'll always go back to Dawn of the Dead. They will always reference a Romero flick in regards to the makeup. And I think, you know,
I'm more Night of the Living Dead, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead for me was one of the first films that sort of got me onto horror. I saw that when I was really young. I was not supposed to watch it. I found that it didn't actually scare me, but I watched it with a few other kids my age. I was about 8 years old. Some were a little bit older. We kind of snuck a videotape of it and watched it. It was like sort of an illegally imported kind of videotape because it wasn't legal then, this kind of movie.
Oh, wow. It was
black and white. And, you know, and we watched it and everybody had nightmares after. And I was like, nightmares? I don't know, but I am so fascinated by this. Right. You know, the whole zombie thing I just found really, really interesting. And it sort of set the way for me. Romero was a huge influence and inspiration, you know, as far as horror goes. So yeah, Dawn of the Dead, I mean, I like it as well, but for me, it's Night of the Living Dead that started it all, and it was so ahead of its time. So yeah, so this one, Train to Busan, it kind of, in a way, picks up, you know, in that tradition. It's a zombie film that takes itself a little bit, you know, seriously. It gives you right. It gives you the thing about it is it's so fast paced. There's no moment to rest. You kind of really, you know, it's 2 hours, but geez, you know, it goes by quickly. It entertains all the way through. You know, there's horror and scares, but there's also good drama here. It's really good.
And that's the one thing that I thought about it. And I know when my wife and I were watching it, it was really it wasn't like, say, you know, when you say it never gives you a rest. Normally movies like that, and I always kind of go back to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That movie never gave you a rest, but it never gave you a rest on a bad side. You know, there wasn't a point in Temple of Doom that things slowed down even for a little bit to let you breathe. And even though this one continues to move, they still have, even if it's a minute, you get a moment. And like you said, with the drama, you get that moment of, okay, stop. Okay, we're going to breathe. The danger is still there. And we're breathing and go. You know, you still got that stopping, you know, that moment to breathe.
Even though the beautiful thing about it, even though you had those I wouldn't call them lulls, but sort of slow down moments, right? The whole time you are watching and you're thinking, where is this going to come from? Where is it going to come from? It's coming. Yep. I know it's coming. Where is it coming from? You know, so it doesn't actually let you rest, even though it slows down.
It doesn't let your mind rest. It doesn't let it doesn't let your mind stop and go, oh, well, you know, it's not that complete lull of 3 minutes of talking, or even say, let's say exposition, to get you ready for the next thing. It's just like you get to breathe, and like you're always on your guard. Oh shit, where's it going to come from? Is it going to, like with the whole baseball team section of it, it was I think it was a woman that got bit first, one of the females, and then it was mind blowing on how quick they had everything go. Now, a lot of people don't like fast zombies. They're still on the, they feel like the slow zombies are the best zombies. I'll tell you what, if they had gone that route with this movie, it would have been boring as hell. I don't know about you, but when Zack Snyder did his Dawn of the Dead remake, the fast zombies, it made that scarier. To me, that's way more scary than slow moving zombies.
It took it up a notch.
It took it up 10 notches in my book.
Yeah.
Because
I feel that that started probably with 28 Days Later, I think. Yeah. And even though they weren't exactly zombies, but it's just, I don't know, it's just so tense. The whole time you think you can put yourself in their place. With slow zombies, I watch it and I think, you know what? I can run away from those. I can run through. I can do lots of things too. I don't know why they keep dying. People keep dying so easily. It's like
brick walls. They trip. They hurt themselves. They run into somebody. The door's unlocked.
You can push them. They fall over.
Right.
And with the fast ones, you just don't stand a chance. If they catch up with you, you're done. And it puts you in the character's place, and there's just a lot more sort of danger. It's interesting to watch. And with this one, it's funny. You mentioned the baseball team, and I remember when I watched this and the baseball team thing came up, it actually reminded me of a completely unrelated film, but one of my favorites, The Warriors. Yeah. Where they had all these different kind of gangs, and one of them was a baseball team, but it's not because they were a baseball team, but because they had all these different things, and it was to do with trains as well. I was like, is this a homage? But I wasn't sure. Yeah,
now that you say that, it kind of felt. I can see how it felt that way. I can see why you thought that.
It made me smile. I was like, is this a homage to the Warriors or not? I don't know.
Come out and play.
Love that movie.
Well, and the little girl, I mean, I knew we were in for something good with that young actress. I was trying to look up her name and I can't.
I found it before. I would never remember it or be able to pronounce it properly. So I'll tell you in a second. It's right here. Her name is Sue Ann Kim, actually. Oh, she has an easy one.
Okay.
Yeah. And the character name was also Sue Ann, but spelled differently. She's SU-Ann, A-N, and the name of the character is S-O-O rather than SU. That's funny.
Yeah, but I knew watching her at the beginning of the film, I just kind of, I'm always blown away by child actors that are so believable that you just by expressions on their face, if you go back and look at, if you look at, give me a second here. I'll do some editing. If you go back to like Tatum O'Neal in Paper Moon, Jackie Earle Haley in the Bad News Bears, everybody, all the kids that acted in the Bad News Bears. It's just sometimes you just get those kids that are just, the age doesn't matter. And she was supposed to be 6 or 7, I think, in that film. And it was just, you could just tell by the looks on her face. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a hell of a movie. I could just tell, I could just tell by the look of her face, because I can watch a trailer, and sometimes a trailer excites me to see something, but sometimes you go, well, you know what, but maybe we just saw all the best parts in that. And when we started watching that movie, I was just watching that little girl, and I was like, wow, man, she is they're gonna use her in this movie to her potential, and maybe even get her to do things that some adult actors can't even pull off. And there was I'm gonna pull up a screenshot here real quick of her. Let me see, where is it? Oh, I found this one here. This one, just while she's standing right there while the people are running through, that was just, she didn't have to say anything. She
froze. Yeah.
She just
was
froze.
So perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like,
yeah.
You
were thinking, they're not going to kill the little girl, are they? They're not going to do that.
It's like, come on, man, don't do that. Is she gonna die? Is she not gonna die? And my wife doesn't yell at the TV too often, and there was a lot of screaming at the TV. No, go, run, and she was sitting next to me while we were watching it, and there was a lot of like, okay, honey, let go, no. Especially nice. when the young girl and the pregnant woman were in the bathroom. I think they were in, were they in there together? Yeah. It was just like doing everything they could do to keep that door closed, and my wife is just going, no. And then, by the time we got done, I had black and blue marks on my arm. I'm kidding. I didn't have black and blue marks. Oh, I kind of did. But yeah, I just remember, I've probably seen that movie 6 times now. And just every time I watch it, it's just, I'm a wreck after it's over. No matter, and even though I know what's coming and whatnot, it was, and the character, I like the character development too, when it came to some of the supporting characters, with this character here,
the big guy, he was the big guy.
Yeah. I really liked, I wasn't sure I was going to like him at first. But then it was like, it was one of those characters that they start off and you're like, oh God, that dude is a dick. And then they, further into it, they start to redeem themselves. And I just really, I really liked his character because he gave us some of the good, some good humorous moments, some of the best humorous moments in that movie. And so I think I read somewhere though too. Yeah, I think I read somewhere too that he's actually does more comedies than he does. I could be wrong. But I remember reading somewhere that he's more of a comedic actor normally, and so this was something that was a little different for him.
His name is Ma Dong-suk. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what other films he's in. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else, but in this one, he was probably my favorite character. Just like you say, there's a bit of a character development with him, which was interesting. And the comic relief was really provided by him and the girl. It's just that the girl was more of a cuteness thing rather than comic. Made you kind of smile and have a bit of a laugh every now and again because she was just so cute, whatever lines she was delivering. Which was a really good contrast, to have with everything that was going on around them. And that guy as well, he was trying to keep things light at certain times. And yeah, made it all the more interesting, with the father character who's all very serious throughout. So yeah, just a great film. Great film.
Now, was there anything about it that you didn't like? I have a couple of things.
Okay, okay. Well, shoot. Let's see if I
I
agree
was
with
just
those.
I towards the end with the stack up of zombies holding onto the train kind of thing. I don't know.
Agree. Yeah. I forgot about it. I tried not to let it bother me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one of the couple things that bugged me was that whole, because then I looked and I go, oh, come on, man, World War Z, are we really going there?
And at first it looked almost comedic, and
yeah, it did. Yeah. And I'm not a fan of World War Z. I didn't like it. I didn't like the theatrical cut. I didn't like the director's cut. There was nothing about that movie. That movie could have been epic, and there was just so much stuff that they did that wasn't that just really made it bad.
Could have been better. I didn't think it was bad though. I liked it. I think it gets a lot more slack. The flack, I should say, but than it should. But it could have been better, no question.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that it took so long to finish, and it was delayed and delayed again and delayed again and delayed again, and it was and the budget ballooned to crazy millions of dollars. That kind of brought it down a little bit.
Right. Well, there was that, and then I guess the train wreck kind of threw me a little bit. I don't know. I
didn't mind that.
There was too much living, I guess. When it just like whipping around and cracking and smashing and bending and all that metal, and they walked away from it for the most part, and I just kind of went, okay, well, I mean, it's a zombie movie, so we're kind of like having to suspend disbelief already. So I guess we'll have to go with that. But I don't know. That was just kind of in my mind. That was another thing that I went, okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially about the sort of zombie chain dragging, behind the train and all of that.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of dropped it down for me below 9 out of 10. But geez, it's still a solid, 8.5 plus.
Yeah.
Such an entertaining film, and it just leaves you happy.
It wasn't normal. There was I mean, I know they've tried to do zombies on airplanes, and they try to take them to different places. This one, though, I feel like, being on a train in an area that you could get on and get off, and obviously at that one station they all got off, and then wound up getting back on. Spoiler alert. But it was even a train moving at 80 miles an hour isn't safe, in regards to, how things are going to, where things are going to go, because it was a bigger train, but still, I mean, at that one point where they were just in that one car and they had locked themselves in, and then they're trying to come through the glass, and they had to put up the newspapers over the windows. And it was just, I don't know, man, they were so good at building the tension that it, you talk about it not slowing down, and you never get bored, so there wasn't, and outside of those couple of things towards the end, I didn't have any eye roll moments, which as when you're a filmmaker, you have eye roll moments, you know. Look back to our Texas Chainsaw episode. So but it was just one of those things that you know, you could tell that the filmmakers, as they were putting this together, were thinking, you know. I don't know how much of it was in the script.
Yeah, and they made some decisions that, you know, you and I might not necessarily agree with, but the script overall is solid. And again,
definitely,
it's just such a positive experience. You know, it's weird saying that about a zombie film, but yeah, you just left happy at the end.
Well, especially,
you know, even that.
Go ahead.
That final scene, you know, when with the whistling, that sort of song or whatever coming through the tunnel. It was melodramatic as fuck. It was definitely that, but still, I liked it. You know, and if I can say that means it worked for me.
Well, in the world of
I'm generally
movies,
a lot more critical.
Yeah. Well, and that's why when you brought up wanting to do this and you said how much you liked it, I was like, really? You know, I wasn't, that was not a movie. Oh, come on. You know what I mean, though. Yeah, it was not, it was not a movie that I would expect to hear come out of your mouth, you know,
I like, you know, my quality and philosophical films and all the rest of it, but there's a lot of films I like for entertainment. It's all a matter of doing it well. And if it's well done and I can't pick at it, you know, as much as most Texas Chainsaw 2022, then I am happy with it, you know.
That movie is never
Halloween
going
Kills.
away. Yeah, Halloween Kills. Yeah, we should. Yeah, once they get Halloween Ends out, I think we'll need to watch that, and then, you know,
and then do the franchise, which I've done before on a different podcast. So I'll need some time before I can revisit the original. Again.
Well, the whole Halloween franchise, or just the whole recent franchise. Blumhouse. Oh, okay.
No, the whole franchise up to Halloween Kills. We did all of them.
Oh,
I think 13 of them. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I'm not going to say any more about that. But in the world of zombie movies, it was not what I expected. I mean, in fact, was it Brienne? Wasn't it Brienne that told us about it? Yeah, my youngest daughter, who knows more about Asian films, not just horror films, but more about Asian films and anime than any one little American girl should know. She's like, you know, you guys got to watch Train to Busan. And I was like, and I was zombied out at that point already, you know. I mean, it was, you know, you walked away from Walking Dead, and there just hadn't been a good zombie movie. You know, World War Z had come out, and to me that failed. And so, you know, I'd always just revert back to old Romero, and even older, you know, go back to earlier seasons of The Walking Dead and stuff like that. And I was pleasantly surprised when my daughter threw that one at me, and then told us to watch it. And then we went to Walmart around Christmas time. I think that was 2017. And they had like a box set of all of these Korean horror films, of different, you know, one of them was kind of a ghost one, and I can't remember what other ones it had on there. But
the Wailing,
I think that was on there. Yeah. So there was like four different movies on there, but Train to Busan was like the big one, and we bought one of those for each one of our kids for Christmas, and the two that are into horror movies hardcore were just like beside themselves. With Brienne and Taylor were just super excited about that. So, and then of course we bought one for ourselves. So that's how come I watched that movie more than once. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny to say, but like the between the Korean filmmakers and some of the Japanese filmmakers, man. And I guess if you could just want to say Asian filmmakers in general, those guys can do this with this, they can do so much with so little money, and sometimes even so little very few locations and even actors. Some of those movies they don't have a lot of actors in them, and they can scare the shit out of you. They're really good at that. Really, really good.
Yeah, the South Korean cinema has become a bit of a powerhouse. Just good things. I'm sure that people have sort of worked out by now that this is definitely a recommendation. Definitely thumbs up for me. Definitely go watch it. It's one of those films. If you like horror, if you like zombie films, and even if you don't,
and it's
maybe
gory.
Check it out.
It's gory too. It's very
not overly gory.
Well, yeah, but I mean, some of the stuff in there, I mean, minus, like, why don't we just say minus the attacks, just some of the just after some of the people have become zombies, they're walking and they're bone crunching, and some of the, man, it was just, there was so much stuff that even after they became zombies, that there were things that were happening to them, to their bodies, and different, just the sound effects were enough to make you go,
all the contorting.
Yes. Yeah. The contorting stuff was just crazy off the chain. And I love horror movies, but I'm also the guy that that when something is happening, let's say that with the one girl, the first girl, when her body is like contorting and there's all that, and she starts, I'm over there going, it's
no. For me, following on from a different episode of ours, for me, that kind of moment in a movie is more like one of your damn.
One of my damn.
So, as I said, for me, definitely a recommendation, as I assume it is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a solid 9 with me too.
Yeah. So, anyone watching, just let us know what you think about this one. Again, drop us some feedback, what you think about the film. You haven't seen the sequel yet.
No, I haven't.
So after you watch it, we'll have to sort of talk about that if we want to do an episode on that. And and you at home, sort of let us know if you want us to do an episode about Train to Busan 2.
Let us know too if there's any movies or music or anything or a series that you want us to talk about, or you want us to watch, you want to make suggestions, feel free to do so. Again, you can send it in the comments, or you can send it to the email.
We take requests.
That's listed. Yes, we do take requests. We're better than most radio DJs. So we are the DJs.
What's that request? No way. We're not doing that.
No way. Hey, and thanks a lot for listening to KTOD Radio. No.
The Straight Shooters.
Straight Shooters on your favorite social media platforms. What they are yet, we don't know. But it'll be whatever we put them on.
We'll see what happens when we shoot straight about not liking films that people actually love. That's going to be interesting. We're getting ready to get smacked.
Yes, I think there's going to be those. There's going to be some of those that people are just going to like give us, or there might be some movies that you and I are going to go back and forth on. I mean, really go back and forth on.
Yeah, so far we're pretty much in agreement on the ones we've done so far. It would be interesting to see one that one of us actually loves and the other one doesn't. That would be fun.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Ooh. Okay, well, put that on your list of things to watch because.
But I did like
it.
the first. I did love the first and the second.
Yep.
The one, the all-female cast one, I thought was not good, but there was entertainment there. Mainly Kate McKinnon.
It was sporadic.
True. But she made me laugh out loud in certain parts. So I was like, a film that makes me do that, I have to say, it has some value, but it wasn't good. And yeah. But again, we're not talking about that now.
We'll do a whole Ghostbusters episode. We'll do a whole Ghostbusters
special.
Dun 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 dun.
We're gonna get slimed. You know that.
Yep, we are gonna get slimed. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Once again, if you want to make a suggestion, comment in the put your comment in the comments there. Send us an email if you have any suggestions on movies or series or albums. We're going to get to those.
And if you feel like just letting us know what you think about the show, and just shoot straight with us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and we'll try to adjust where we can.
We can take constructive criticism, or even if you want to be a dick. Go ahead.
I'm throwing a hissy fit. As soon as somebody says something negative, I'm going to chuck a tantrum. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
We're going to film that. I'm
well known for those.
Look, Itai's having a tantrum. Oh, geez. Well,
Hey, for entertainment purposes, I'll do anything.
There you go. You got to love it. All right. So thanks again for watching The Straight Shooters. My name is Todd Braley.
And my name is that Israeli guy who lives in Australia. And
the Israeli that lives in Australia. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you again next time.
See you soon.